3, 2, 1, and 0, and liftoff.
Hey everyone, this is Greg Lafferty, the Rocket Guy, and you're listening to the Rocket Guy Real Estate Investment Network. Come check us out on therocketguy.com, where we investigate and analyze and study and theorize about investing in real estate, because that's just what we do. A few years ago, I started getting questions from people, still to this day, about how I got started in real estate, and I'll wrap it up in one simple answer, and then you can hit pause and go on to something else. But I made a ton of mistakes. That's how I got started. And so as I'm talking to you and I'm talking into the lives of my sons, one day when they listen to this, I want to kind of talk about some of those mistakes that I've made in some of these episodes, and this is one of them I want to talk about. So today, let's talk about how to avoid making one of these mistakes. And one is kind of dealing with this pre-purchase inspection. So we've talked a little bit about simple math and kind of how do you analyze a deal? Do you get a good location or a good deal? What are you looking for? But then let's talk about really inspecting that property and digging a little bit deeper, and how do we go about that? Because it's caused a lot of pain in my life, and I want to share that and kind of take that off your plate so you'll know a little bit better, because education is power, and financial education is like the supercharger on that power. Okay, so we want to get a little bit more educated about real estate investing in general, and let's break off into this. The purchase process, right, could be very simple. Right? Could be very simple. When you think about it, I'm just going to go find a property and then I'm going to buy it, right? Is that kind of what it is? When I bought my first property, it felt that easy, but it was a little bit more complicated than that. But now, as I'm thinking about real estate as more of an investment, it gets a little bit more detailed, right? As the deals get a little bit bigger, they can get a little bit more sophisticated. We don't use complicated around here, but they're complicated, okay? But first of all, you want to find the right property. Maybe you drive for dollars is what some people call it, driving around looking for stuff to buy, right? Waste a lot of gas. That's fine. Maybe you are an internet type of person. You sit around on your computer all day and you search through Zillow or Realtor.com or one of those tools, Redfin, something like that. Or maybe you have a referral from a friend, right? No need to be a secret agent. Okay. Be kind of out there in your investing responsibilities, what you're into. Or maybe you have a realtor that kind of digs things up for you from time to time and helps you buy things. So you have that kind of part of the process, and then maybe you go through some negotiation and you try to increase the sweetness of the deal, make the deal real sweet, and you get it under contract, not too complicated, especially if you're using a broker or a realtor to help you with that, and then you buy it, right? It's just that easy. Not. Okay, that's not what we're going to do. Okay, that's not what we're going to do. We have a few more steps involved in that, right? We just can't just say, oh, okay, found a house, found an apartment building, found a commercial property, just make a negotiation, sign up a contract, and then let's go straight to the attorney's office. Okay, this is not like buying a car. Okay, we're not doing it the same day. We need to slow it down a notch, champ. Take it back up the bus just a little bit. There's a process that I kind of go through, in a mental process. I was talking to a young man recently that I kind of mentor and speak into his life a little bit. He was thinking through a big purchase in his life, and I said, hey, look, I'm a pilot, and when you are approaching in for a landing, an instructor once told me that your main focus should be, I'm not going to land. I'm not going to land. That's your mentality as you're approaching for a landing. I'm not going to land. Make me want to land. Check off all the boxes that say, yes, you need to land, yes, you need to land, yes, you need to land. Then you go in for a landing. Otherwise, my mental state is, I'm going to fly near the airport, and then if it's not all right, I'm going around. And that was the same word that I spoke into this young man's life, where he was looking at this big purchase, and I said, come with the mentality of, this is not the right vehicle for me. That's what he was wanting to buy. This is not the right vehicle for me. And then make me want to buy that vehicle, right? Maybe want to buy that truck. Check it off. Does it have everything you want in this particular truck? If not, I'm going around. I'm going to look for something else. And so as we approach the purchase of an asset, and remember, assets make you money, liabilities cost you money. So this is an investment. We're purchasing an asset. It's going to make me money. I'm not getting emotionally attached, right? I'm not emotionally attached. I am making sure that this is checking off the boxes. Make me buy it. Make me buy it. Make me buy it. Otherwise, my mental state is I'm not buying. I'm going around. Okay, as we say in flying, we're going around. We're not going to land this time because it doesn't check all the boxes. And so part of the purchase process is not just, hey, I'm going to find the property, going to negotiate it, and boom, I'm just going to buy it. No, I'm going through a process that makes me want to buy it. Okay, otherwise, my default is I'm going to go around, right? And we call this process due diligence. Okay. A lot of realtors like to throw that term around. Let's do our due diligence. It's a fancy term for let's do our homework. Okay, we're going to do our homework. And especially in the commercial world, we're going to do our due diligence. Okay. When we talk about commercial investing, I'm going to have to put on my tie and my suit. I just am. So, because you have to think that way. But the due diligence process involves a lot. Okay, there's a physical inspection, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. There might be maybe even addition to the structure. Maybe it's a community, a neighborhood, a location inspection. I'm going to drive around and check things out. Is it a good location versus a good deal? We've talked about that, right? What am I getting? Maybe there's some economic factors that are going to drive your decision. You need to peel back a little bit and say, okay, well, what's the unemployment like in the community? What's the migration patterns? Are people coming into the community or moving out? Because if they're coming in, there's going to be an upward kind of pressure on rent. I need places for these people to live. If everybody's moving out, I remember back in 08, I think it was 2009, 10, somewhere in that range. It's kind of a blur right now. Kind of last man out of Detroit cut out the light, right? The automotive manufacturers were kind of shutting down and having difficulty selling their vehicles, and there was a negative migration pattern. Okay, everybody was leaving. So what about availability of housing? That's important. Are builders bringing online new units, or what's going on there to kind of meet the increased demand? What's that supply and demand look like? Okay, economic factors. Or what about the market rent rates, or maybe purchase cost comparables? All these are good things to investigate during our due diligence. Was that site at one time a nuclear waste dump? Okay, is that why it's such a good deal? Maybe it was a meth lab at one time. You got to tear almost the whole house down and rebuild it again. Okay, so there's things that we need to consider during our due diligence process. I sold this one young couple a townhome when I was a broker out in Seattle. I was having a good time, and the day after closing, I got a phone call from this lady, and she said, I need to drop this place like a bad Vegas marriage. And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, I just can't live here. I need to sell it. And I'm like, we just bought it. Like, we did these inspections, all this. Yes, I know, but I can't tell you why, but we just need to sell it. I said, okay. And I looked at the husband, he goes, it's just money. Right. And it did. It cost them. Right. But you just can't do that with real estate and still make an investment. And so as we walk down this road to be an exceptional people, right, to be an exception to the norm, we want to be wise, right? And wise people are those people that surround themselves with advisors and listen to that advice, right? And those that need to help us shouldn't be cheap, okay? We don't want cheap advice because you get what you pay for. So I'm more than willing to pay for good advice. So don't think that you have to be the expert at everything. And that's kind of what my buddy was saying. He was like, oh, we can go in and we can look underneath the sink and check. I don't know that. Okay, I don't know how to do that. I still don't know. Okay, I still don't know. I want an expert to go under there. I want an expert to take a look at that. If I need to bring in a structural engineer to kind of see how the building's sitting, that's what we'll do. Okay. Maybe I'm going to buy an apartment building and I want to pay for a company that does property condition reports. It goes all through the apartment complex and analyzes everything and gives me an effective age of the systems. How many heat and air systems need to be replaced over the next 5 years? That's a big ticket item. Okay, I don't just want to walk in and go, well, I've got 30 units here and times about $4,000 or $5,000 a piece. They've all got to be replaced. Wow, that could be a surprise. Okay. So, which is the other thing about like apartments, right? They all get built at the same time. So all those systems kind of fail at the same time. Wow, that's a big surprise. That was one of my first revelations when I bought my first apartment building. I was like, wow, all these hot water heaters are going out at once. This is awesome. Okay. So, but if I'd taken the time and paid for that, paid for a service like that, I would be kind of eyes wide open. And so when we talked about building a team, this is part of that value of building a team, right? We need to put good people around us. We need to put a team in place to help us. And then after we do that, we need to use it, okay? Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and give someone a call and ask for their advice or ask them to go help you with something, right? You might get a bill, and that's fine, right? That's fine. They provided a service. You pay for that service. They can't give away the only thing they have to sell, which is their service. So pay for it. But just understand that in the end, you're getting value for that, okay, if you feel like you are. In future episodes, we're going to talk about some of the other aspects of buying, like selecting the property and negotiating the property and getting under contract and all those kind of things. But this is something that just kind of hit me today that I said, I really need to share this with you. So I hope you enjoyed that today. Thank you so much for spending some time with the Rocket Guy and the Rocket Guy Real Estate Investment Network. I hope you found a few nuggets in today's episode. And check back with us. We're going to have an episode every week, so feel free to like and subscribe and turn on notifications and all those kind of cool things so that as we do release new episodes, you'll be notified and can get right on it. And as we help guide you through your real estate investing career. So take care, and I hope you have a fantastic day.